Are you someone who's tired of the whole CG-laden, super jokey superhero movie genre? You want something that's a little bit more mature, maybe something a little bit old school in the way that it's made? I think Ridley Scott's got the movie just for you. Let's talk about it. Jean de Carrouges is a respected knight known for his bravery and skill on the battlefield. Jacques Le Gris is a squire whose intelligence and eloquence makes him one of the most admired nobles in court. When Le Gris viciously assaults Carrouges' wife, she steps forward to accuse her attacker, an act of bravery and defiance that puts her life in jeopardy. The ensuing trial by combat, a grueling duel to the death, places the fate of all three in God's hands. The movie stars Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Jodie Comer, and Ben Affleck. So yeah, we're continuing the Ridley Scott Review-a-thon with The Last Duel, something that came out just in October and didn't do too great at the box office. But I mean, there's reasons for that, and maybe we'll talk about some of those. But yeah, I'm really excited to get back into the swing of things with this whole Ridley Scott thing, because I love the guy. I think he's one of the best directors out there, and yeah, he just keeps cranking them out. You know, they say that we're all the hero of our own story, and that definitely is true, unless you're a woman in 14th century France, when the hero of your story is not you, but a man. Yeah, this movie it's serious, it's deep, it's uncomfortable, it's thrilling. It's got everything that a Ridley Scott movie should have. It's really, really good stuff. Now, the movie's structure is loosely inspired by what I think is to be Rashomon. The idea of one story being told from three different perspectives. Now, a lot of people that I read online were saying, you know, this is really off-putting. I don't like the structure and all that. I loved it. I loved seeing the differences of the same situation from three different perspectives. I mean, you really kind of get into the head of the characters even more than what you're seeing on screen. I love it. I love that kind of thing, and it's that attention to detail that is just it's so cool to watch. All of this culminates in, as you might guess, a duel, and this duel is it's crazy. It's very brutal. It's very it's got that Ridley Scott flavor as far as the way that it's shot, the action, all of that stuff. But what I really, really appreciated is the feeling that the whole movie gives you as you're watching it, because you know that this is coming, because the movie kind of starts off with them getting ready for the duel, and then you see, okay, why is this happening? What's really interesting is that there's so much at stake. Not just the men's lives that are going to be doing this duel, but her life as well. Feeling that you get this dread as you're watching this, you're so uncomfortable, and it's kind of awesome. It just underlines the fact that, you know, the men are making it all about them, you know, their ego, their pride, their reputation. But a woman got raped here. And the men are more worried about themselves. It's kind of shocking, but you can totally see how in this time of our history, yeah, women were looked at as property, and it's wow. Dariusz Wolski was the director of photography on this movie, and he's worked on Ridley Scott's movies for a long time. I mean, he worked on Prometheus, he did The Martian, he actually did The House of Gucci that came out just a month after The Last Duel. And yeah, this guy, I love his camera work, and I love the way everything looks. It's a beautifully shot movie, and I mean, if nothing else, you can enjoy just looking at it. It's a beautiful picture. All of the things here. I mean, we've got Harry Gregson-Williams on the music. The script was written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Sort of a callback to their Good Will Hunting days, but in a much more serious note. And I really, really appreciated that they brought in Nicole Holofcener to basically come in and help write the female perspective of the movie. And she's pretty awesome. She actually wrote and directed James Gandolfini's last movie, actually, called Enough Said. If you've never seen that movie, I highly recommend that one. And of course, Ridley Scott directs the crap out of this movie. Everything is beautiful. It just looks gorgeous, and I love the way that he frames the camera, the way that he moves the camera. It's just Ridley Scott's a master, and he shows again why he's one of the best directors we've ever seen. And the actors. I mean, look, every single one of these actors does an amazing job. Matt Damon is playing a guy who's heroic, but somehow kind of pathetic in a way. And it's just, it's so interesting to see him play this character. There's so many layers to what he does. It's really, really impressive. Adam Driver does something that, well, I think he's a kind of a charming kind of guy. So for him to play this sort of role, it's so cool to see. Ben Affleck gets to play something that I've never really seen him play a part like this. And you can tell he is having a blast with it because he's almost unrecognizable. I mean, unless you're completely aware, oh yeah, that's Ben Affleck, he just disappears into the part. And it's really, really fun to see that. And of course, Jodie Comer, I have never seen her in anything. Of course, she was in Free Guy earlier in 2021, which I haven't seen yet. But she was amazing in this and made me go, okay, so add another person to the list of people that I'll just watch them in anything. You know, Ridley Scott very famously sort of blamed the millennials on the failure of The Last Duel at the box office. But I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons why the movie just didn't connect with audiences. And I think part of it is that, the people that are, let's be honest, the more mature people that would go to watch The Last Duel in a theater, maybe they're not venturing out, because of this day and age that we're living in. Number one. Number two, I think a lot of people are looking for escapist entertainment right now. The Last Duel is, let's talk about the misogyny and let's talk about that. Come on. It's not exactly the lightest subject matter, for you to go out on a Friday night and have a good time at the movies. So I'd probably give this movie like a 3.5 out of 4 stars. I don't think it's absolutely perfect. There are things that I kind of wish, and again, not big things here, but we're talking about moments where it's like, that could have been better or whatever. And also I have to look at sort of rewatchability. This is not the kind of movie that you just want to pop in and have a good time, because it's got some heavy subject matter to it, but it's still absolutely worth your time. It's absolutely worth watching if you do get the opportunity, and I highly suggest you do. So, what did you think about The Last Duel? Like I said, I'm basically just enamored with anything Ridley Scott. So in a way, you kind of have to look at my reviews through a certain lens, but I can see how people would love it, and I can see why people may not like it. So let me know down below what you're thinking, and we'll talk about it. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.